What's happening, guys? Welcome back. Episode 3 of the walkthrough, our last and final episode for our early run around for the best possible start. So, from Weeping Peninsula, we're going to jump on over to Gatefront. Now, so we did most of Limgrave. There's some stuff up at the top. However, at the time, it just didn't make sense to do it because, we got to head to Liurnia anyways, right? So, because of that, it seems to me like we should just jump here, now, right? So we got everything else we want to get. We're only up to 5 heals, so we want to get up to 7 heals before we start, as promised. And we need a lot of upgrades, guys, a lot. We have to go get 12 smithing 2s and smithing 3s. The ones will come, next episode once we start doing content. The first place we're going to do is a cave here, a tunnel rather, and that's going to get us our ones. We're not worried about that. But we at least need to get a Somber 3. Good lord, guys. One Somber 3 is that's the only one we're missing. So we can get on up to +5. And then we gotta get 12 2s, 12 3s. We're gonna go get all the maps, golden seeds. I'm gonna try to go ahead and get the incantation that does cleanse us of status effects. We won't, run into many status effects, but when we do run into poison, it would be nice to go ahead and have that. Yeah, because I don't think we're going to really have a need to... Yeah, go ahead to the right. As soon as you get that golden seed, go to the right, grab that smithing 1. Over here should actually be... Where is it? Might be in the wrong section. Yep, there it is. Yeah. There's the graveyard. That's all we're doing. Then we're going to get back there on the main path. So, if you notice, now our flasks are healing us up 100%. Now, as we get more health, it probably won't, obviously. But, having those 5 sacred tears and all we're going to need is 1 flask and it's going to fully heal us. And that's kind of the reason why we're running around doing this stuff, guys. Just to put us in a good spot, At the beginning, if flask didn't heal you much at all, but 5 sacred tears, it makes you heal a lot more, you know what I mean? So, do keep that in mind. These are just crafting drops you're going to get from the guys. And just kind of look back to make sure we didn't miss anything. A lot of gravestones, weren't too many runes. Alright, so from that, we're just going to go back left, go on up and meet our next NPC, Roderica. So she's an extremely important NPC, and we'll be going down here too, but we're going to wait a second. So Roderica, or Roderica, however you say her name, they say it like Roderica, it's spelt like Roderica, so I don't really know. But this is a very important NPC, so she's going to give us a summon. We need to solve a very late game puzzle. Very late game. Mountaintops of the Giants. We could also get a stone to her key. And talking to her before Liurnia is important, because after you go to Liurnia, she will move to the round table hold, leading behind a gold seed.
Everyone is only to have that. Did you know? Quite them.
Oh, yeah, trying to jump around them. I didn't mean to. I was playing Lords of the Fallen, and, it's X for action. Action button's on X, where it's triangle here. So, but yeah, you actually do damage to enemies when you jump. It might only be like 2 or 4, but it's enough to piss off an NPC. So, Spirit Jellyfish Ashes is what we want. After that, we're just going to kind of go straight out northeast. The main road we're going to go to next is just to the right of this, but we can go over here and get the Strength Not Tier. So Strength Not Tier, Faith Not Tier, Dex Not Tier, Intelligence Not Tier, all add 10 stat points for 2 or 3 minutes. Helps you meet higher spell requirements to get more damage scaling. What you got, big boy? Good God. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, this weapon here. So the recommended weapon for our build is actually going to be called Morgott's Cursed Sword. It is a boss weapon. It's a curved sword just like this. It feels a little bit better to swing though, it feels a bit lighter. But yeah, it's a curved sword like this, but it's the cursed sword. So the Ash of War does blood flame. And it does a follow-up, so there's like 6 explosions of blood flame. Besides that, it does a lot of physical and a lot of blood loss, so it's really, really cool. So, it fits in with the blood flame, because that's what the Ash of War does. And it doesn't get blood flame on every hit. If it did, it'd be too powerful. No weapon does that. Maybe Moog's Spear, but even with that, you don't get to the end of the game, so they reward you in like New Game Plus, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's a phenomenal weapon. But the reason I wanted to go with Bloodflame Blade, or Bloodhound's Fang, is because it's literally the same shape, same size, and same moveset as the recommended weapon for the build. So, put our gold seed. But yeah, so it's gonna be the same, and getting used to that moveset's nice. But this one you can actually buff because it doesn't do anything special. So if I wanted, I don't know if we have any. Yeah, right here, just to show this. Because every somber weapon you can't buff. Most of them you can't buff because they do elemental shit. But since this doesn't, we can buff this wherever the hell we want. So now I can get extra blood loss damage, or I can get fire damage, or you know what I mean? I can do what the hell I want to do. But from here, now this time we're going to stay to the right side of the building, going on down. I meant to change it to daytime and forgot. We need to put in our golden seed. So now, going up. Go. Disjointer or dismounter, pretty decent weapon. I do love the dodge attack with this weapon. So if you dodge, you come back and do a full swipe or a roll. Don't have to be a dodge. It's really cool. All right, I'm going to get something I really, really want. So over here, you're going to see this side of Grace. This is the War Master Shack. Bernal will be here. Now, Bernal has one of the legendary weapons you need for your platinum. Now, you can get this very late game, but I'm going to tell you, it's in a tricky spot. It's a very easily missed item, like extremely easily missed item. So if you don't find his last spot, and where he invades you, you're not going to get that weapon, you're not going to get your platinum. So you could take him out here, get a really cool armor set, the armor set he has on, and get his legendary ornament to drop. It's a phase strength weapon. It's not the weapon you see. That's his Y-hander. But it's a phase strength weapon. It's this big old great hammer with a snake wrapped around it. The Ash of War steals health from people and heals you, but does fire on every hit. It's really cool. But you're going to screw yourself out of his side quest where he wants you to do invasion with him, and it gets you one of the nicest looking sets of armor. It won't happen to the capital, but we don't really want to screw ourselves out of that, right? So, if you're following along with the walkthrough, you're not going to miss it. You're 100% going to get your platinum. It's going to be easy. But if you, try to go it alone, it's a good chance you're going to miss it. I'll tell you it's in Farum Azula, but it's really easy to overlook this, and it's a part of Farum Azula you wouldn't even think to really look at. So, I just want to warn you. But if you kill him now, you can get that weapon, ensuring you get your platinum. So that's the thing. Kill him now, get his armor, get that weapon. It's a really good phase strength weapon with fire damage and heals you. Ensuring you're not going to, miss your platinum. Or wait, take the chance, but get a really fine set of armor. Like I said, if you're with me, I got you. You're good, right? But I felt like I would mention it because it ensures you don't miss that spot. You know what I mean? To be safe. But I wouldn't kill him. But I know where to go, so. So my faith holds firm. My faith holds firm. Learn skills. I'm going to go pick up no skill. With no skill, I can put this on a shield where it will not do parry, so I don't have to worry about it. And we go also pick up parry in case, because I'm always going to set up two shields. One with no skill, so I can quickly get to my Ash of War. Then one shield that has parry I can switch to for certain bosses and certain enemies that are easier to parry. And he has a lot of just starting, starting stuff here. We got spinning slash. It's actually really good. So I'm going to get it. It comes on a lot of weapons, but I'm thinking maybe we can put Blood Loss on something with the Ash of War affinity. Or we could put like Frostbite and then do Spinning Slash. It could be quite powerful. So from there, we're going to jump back over to the Stormhill Shack. Now typically you need to work your way on up. Go through Stormville, take out Godric, take out Margit, and then get into, Liurnia. However, if you look closely on the map, there's a way to just sneak right in. So if you go this way and curve around, that's where you go. You'll fight Margaret here on the bridge. And then you're able to go in Stormville. You go all the way through the Legacy Dungeon to take out Godric. Then you progress into Liurnia. But looking at the map, you also see you can go straight, right? Go under the bridge. Now this bridge is broken. If you don't know anybody, you're like, oh fuck. But you can actually drop off over here, get into the wooded area, and shoot on out. And that's what we're going to do. We are going to take out these guys. I still want that shield. I bought this one just in case I don't get a decent drop for a while because it is a decent looking shield, But as soon as I get that other one, I'm gonna switch it out. So I mean, you're gonna learn in this game, especially that runes and souls, they just come and go, guys. You know, you're gonna get levels. You're gonna get levels. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be hard. Like if you're going through, you do a platinum run, like doing everything, you'll be between level 160 and 180 at the end of the game. I'm usually dead on 175 every time. Last time I did hit 180 though. Just depends how thorough you're being. If you play it like us, going through every little spot, clearing everything in full, which is the best way, ensuring you don't miss anything. But it also helps, that's how I reach these high levels without farming by the end of the game. As we're never going to recommend farming. Unless it's farming armor sets, that's it. So if you drop down and go straight forward, this is going to be a different kind of parry. It actually does like a burst of wind when you parry, which looks like a cool animation and all. It's called Storm Wall. But it lets you parry arrows and bolts. Now, most enemies always, you know, regions have their own sets of soldiers and stuff. Now, most of them are always going to have archers, you know, so it could be, you know, useful everywhere. But early on, it's exceptionally good here because that's what most of these guys are. You know, you get in the Earnia, they're doing more magic type stuff too. You get in Caleb, they're doing more fire type stuff. You get in Gelmir, more fire lava type stuff. But for regular arrows and bolts, it does quite well, and that's where we are in the game now. This might not be a full episode. As I said, I go for about an hour. We're just trying to get what we want and go and end our early run so we can actually get started on content. I'm not going to get started on content in this episode because this is, you know, going to be sectioned as our early run episodes. That's how I'm going to label it. I want people to know what to look for. It's still best to follow episode 1 to the end. It's not about me getting views. I'm a small channel, don't care. I'm here to help you guys, but missing one episode could fuck up NPC quests, big time could fuck up trophies and everything else. So this is an open world game. We don't know when we're going to go somewhere to do what, right? So there's no telling. So because of that, you just got to follow along, guys. But in case people don't and they want to look up episodes, we're going to actually separate them. So as we move forward, we'll be able to go in here and get another sacred tier. As I told you, you guys are in good hands. We're going to hook you guys up. Make sure you have 10 runes. Go over here and talk to Tops. Another NPC quest we're going to do. We won't do this at the end of Liurnia, but we got to do it. So, if you study sorcery, he has Glintstone Pebble and Glintstone Arc. So, pure mage builds, you got to start with both Prisoner. You don't have Glintstone Arc. Definitely get it, as it's a decent AoE option early on. This is just a light called Starlight. Kind of dumb. But, if I was doing a pure faith build or a pure mage, and I still might, I would get every incantation or every spell, whatever matches my build. Now we can go straight on back and get what's called a spell book, Academy Scroll. You turn these into certain NPCs, and they're going to allow you to buy new spells, upgraded spells, better, way better spells. However, there's only one merchant I would recommend turning them into, because most of these are NPCs that you can turn these prayer books for incantations and scrolls to buy more spells. These NPCs leave partway through the game or die every now and then. In some cases, you know, they're going to die or they're going to go on journeys or trips. So to ensure you never lose your spells, there's one NPC that never leaves, and he's actually here in the Earnia. So I'm actually trying to make it up that way this episode to, you know, get him unlocked for you guys so you don't have to worry about it. So while we're right here, we'll go and take out this camp, make things easier on us later. And we got a decent amount of health. We haven't checked out your incantations yet, so you can actually charge this. Look at that. Definitely fits in with the pyromancy theme. Fire and blood, that's what we're all about with this build. That's gonna be so good too. I know that shit's gonna end up being strong. If you're a newer player, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this. I've done every build there is, and I respect to try this out late game and end up falling in love with it. And I was like, this would be really good for a walkthrough, really good build for a walkthrough. So now we're gonna get on over here. This is the Earnia Lake Shore. We need at least like probably 2,500 runes for what we're trying to do. If you're crafting, go here and talk to him. And first thing, we're just gonna sell some stuff here, guys. Whatever we're not using, we don't care for. Like I don't really care for that. We're about to go get our incantation, so we're gonna have something for range. We're gonna have a weapon buff right at the start. I don't want to do it, but it's gonna cover us. So first thing, get your lantern. We could have got one earlier, but I like getting one here, just because usually you have the roads to do so. Also, go ahead and grab all the twos he has. Makes what we're doing easier on us. Then he has the crafting book for Crystal Dart, Spellproof, Dried Liver, and Shatter Shard Arrow. Spellproof, Dried Liver boosts your damage negation to magic, so, could be useful if you want. Like I said, don't worry about the ones, we're going to find plenty. In the early zone, those drop off everybody anyways, but we're going to hit a tunnel first thing next episode. It's the first thing we're doing to get the ones we're missing. Then we're going straight to Round Table Hold and bringing weapons up a lot. So we are now up to, oh wait, I'm not done. Because what we also want to do is go over here to Ashes of War. This is for me if you want to follow along. I'm going no skill. This takes parry off. I wouldn't have parry anymore. So instead, it's just going to go right to my skill. And that's why I'm suggesting it. We still have our guard counters to deal with enemies. And we can also just, oh, this enemy's easier to parry. Let me just, just throw on your parry shield. But this way, we can always get to our Ashes of War so we can do big damage when we need to. Now, going out to this pillar. You can put a marker if you want. It's pretty much just right outside of this. Now there's going to be guys surrounding this. The easiest way is to pull them away. But I'm going to try to take them out. Our weapons should be plenty good enough. There you go. There's the next map. Now we're going to take this straight on down. And eventually you'll see a side of grace on the right. Damn, look at that. Already at 6 heals, guys. We haven't even started yet. Phenomenal start. I knew it would be. Alright, so towards your right side, you're going to see a side of grace. So let's go ahead and grab that. Rest to de-aggro any enemies on our ass. You see they're using that little bell that summons little spirits at us. Buddy, we're resting. What are you doing? It didn't work. That does happen sometimes. You gotta rest twice. Now they're de-aggroed. Alright. So we just turn around, go and grab this cookbook here. Let's go ahead and we did put on those skills. We're good there. Alright, so you're going to see this little gazebo over here. And this has a fast travel transporter in it. But as of right now, we're not going to use it. We're just going to go grab the smithing 3. And we're going to go behind it. We're going to be on a northwest heading straight down. We have a few stops to make, but everything's northwest. And we do have that side of grace back there, so we can just fast travel. So then we can just get to the transporter when we're ready. But there's a few transporters here that pretty much just take us everywhere we need to be to get maps and the stuff we're looking for. So up here, your first little island, going up, grab the side of grace. An NPC named Patches will kind of jump over here, after we do Stormville. So it's going to be nice just to have that side of grace right there. Same thing again, straight northwest heading. We're going to come up to another island, getting us the dexterity knots here, adding 10 to dex temporarily with our Flask of Wondrous Physic, which is going to be right here. Let's go ahead and snatch that up. Now we're going to drop down, still northwest again, and we're going to run up to Rose Church. We want to go behind Rose Church, or to the other side of it rather. There's going to be a Scarab. This Scarab has Blood Flame Blade. This goes with our Blood Flame build. So we want it. I've already made sure we reached the stats to use it. 10 Arcane, 12 Faith. So we already started with enough Faith, but we did need, 1 point Arcane. So, we started with the Faith build. And that's just so we already had our Faith pretty much done. If we only need 15 and start with 14. But this is, a Dex Arcane build, and we're going to want to bring those stats up. And we'll have plenty of time. It might put us a little bit behind on stats, but stats come so easily, not really. Because whether we start Dex Arcane, we still would have had to bring up a bunch of Faith. You know what I mean? So instead of that, with this class, we actually started with a good amount of Mind and a good amount of Faith. I'll trade that out any day for a little bit of Arcane. You know what I mean? Now we're only behind on 1 stat instead of behind on 2. So, there you go. Blood Flame Blade, our first incantation for our build. Now we want to jump back to Lascar Ruins right over here. By the end of this episode, when we actually start doing content, you guys are going to see we are in such a good place. We really are. So nope, not level up. We're going to memorize spell. And let's go ahead and throw a Blood Flame Blade and show you guys what this does. So this is a weapon buff. Oh, we gotta switch to it. This buffs our weapon with fire and blood loss. Really dope, isn't it? And we're just gonna be fucking laying into shit with this. We're not gonna get much resistance for a while, you might say. Now, not every enemy is weak to blood loss or fire, but enough are, and the ones that aren't, this still gives us a little bit of a regular damage boost as well. There's also like buffs we can get. So we're gonna get two spells. One's called Flame Cleanse Me, and it's gonna cleanse rotten poison, and one is called Flame Grant Me Strength, and it actually boosts fire damage and it boosts regular damage by 20%. So all these things, they all go with their build. It's quite nice. So take your transporter. I guess we can grab this note. So up here, this is your second legacy dungeon. We're obviously not gonna do this now. You could if you're good enough, but we're nowhere near ready as far as the walkthrough goes. That note is telling you where the key to get in there is. I already know it, so we don't need it, but I wanted to cover it because it's right there. So I told you guys from the start, there's gonna be some spoilers because there's just stuff we gotta talk about here and there. You know what I mean? Kind of see what he's hitting like. Blue white wooden shield, small shield, better parry timings. It has no skill on it, so. Alright, so right after you grab that shield, turn left, grab your smithing 3, and then we're just going to kind of aim for this bridge. So as I mentioned, these first 3 episodes are going to go by quick. Go here, let's get this, but we're about to slow way down next episode and really comb through our areas. Now, when you get to the bridge, jump off to the left, take these rooftops down. Dropping off the end's probably going to kill you. So grab that golden seed. Now we're only missing 1 golden seed to get our flask plus 7 at the very start of the game. As I said, if you talk to Roderica, then you come to Liarnia, she moves to the hub area, we revisit her spot, and we'll get our last golden seed. So everything's just kind of tying together very nicely. So from there, it's going to go straight on down. If you ever get lost, just pull up the map, you'll see your pillar for the map fragment, so you can't really get lost. Grab our Side of Grace, we're going to grab our map. Then it's time to start getting our smithing stones. There's one more map to get, but we're going to clear out all the smithing stones here first. So to do that, guys, I think we missed this one. We're over there. So there, this is where we're going. All these little huts. This one's right here, so I'm not even going to mark it. So from there, we're going to go straight on out. You see, we're heading for right here. Then everything else is, this circle within a circle on your map. Those are huts. They're all going to, have all of our smithing stones we need for the most part. He's probably going to kill you. If he does, don't worry about it. He'll, like, snipe you out with water. Yep. I try to shake him. Alright, let's go and rescue him off our ass. So from there, we still need all these other ones. So first, yes, there's going to be 2, 1, then 3. Alright. Let's follow our markers. I'm going to leave this up a little bit longer so you guys see it. And you pay attention to your numbers, but mine are going to be 2, 1, then 3. So it'll be that one, then we're going way up for that one. So every single one of these has 3 smithing stones. It's either 2s or it's 3s at this point. This is the only area like this in the game. And that's what I'm saying. They kind of set this up for you guys to run around the open world and get a good start. It's rewarding you for spending that time to look around. This isn't going way out of the way. It's an open world game, right? Also, it's not hidden behind anything. We're not cheating anything. We're not cheating. Nothing. It's just laying around the world for you to get. So that's what we're doing. That's all we're doing here. Get rid of the marker, you gotta kind of ride your horse to it. 2, 1, then 3. So after that, this one might be our. Okay, there's actually, I think the one marker is actually Folly on the Lake, which is the Side of Grace we'll get later. So I'm thinking about we're probably not even gonna go to that one. And we're gonna check our stuff real quick too. So if we go down to inventory. 1, 2, 3, 4 are 1, 8 ones. Sorry, damn. We only need 1, 2, and 5 threes. That's it. So from here, the faster way is actually to go to south right up Lucaria Gate. We're going to jump down. Now, this is a trick jump. If you die, you can do the longer run around, but it saves a lot of time and it's just not that hard. So right around this little bush here, just do one jump, wait, then do a really late jump. Make sure you stop. If you slide down that, you're dead. There's a room bear over there, so just move on. But right here, what's crazy is this one wasn't even on my marker. You know, this is just another one that wasn't marked on the map. It didn't have the, you know, the big circle in a circle. But it does have some stones. Another reason why I wanted to take it down, because it wasn't on the map. So we're not going for our one marker. As I said, that's falling in the lake. I didn't catch on to it because we didn't have all the map. But seeing where we were with all the lobsters, I knew where we were, and that's just the side of Grace over there. So we're not worried about it. Now we still have to shoot all the way to the top, guys. There's some other stuff we're going to do. We're actually probably going to be short a few threes, so we might do a quick run through the cave right at the start. There's like 4 threes we can grab, or 2 threes, something like that. There you go. So we need no more 2s. We're not worried about 2s whatsoever. Let's remove that marker. Now we're going to jump on over to Academy Gate Town. We want to get on the other side of this bridge for a side of Grace. We're going to need later on. It's going to help us out. But if there's time in this episode, guys, we're going to try to fast travel back to this side of Grace we're going to get, so we can kind of go up this coast. I'm going to try to grab the spell NPC for you guys, and then Flame Cleanse me, so we can cleanse poison and rot. But it just depends. I mean, we're at 26 minutes. I don't see why we wouldn't have the time. Yeah, as long as we have the time. We're doing an early run around for a good start, but we're not going to, you know, get carried away with it, guys. We're not just kind of running around like crazy and go get a bunch of fucking game-breaking weapons and go get our weapons to plus 20. It's not needed, and it's gonna ruin it later when we get to the spot and all these spots and we work through all these enemies and there's no reward left, you know. But if it's laying around the world easy to get, we're gonna get it. I think all we need is 5 more 3s. So from there, go down to your right, and while we're right here, let's go grab this consumable so we don't have to come back for it later. Just go to your right when you drop down. There you go. Now there's no reason to come back to this later on. Alright, so you should be able to get some silver pickled foul feet right over here by this camp. So the gold ones are going to boost rune acquisition. The silver ones are going to boost item discovery. So if you are trying to farm armor sets like the Vanished Knight from last episode, you'll be able to, you know, use those to boost your discovery. I'm trying to pull up a map because there's one gazebo and it's so hidden. It's right here. It's in this green moss. So put a 1 right there and a 2 right here. 2 is our transporter, 1 is our stones. Like I said, it's pretty hidden. So there should be like a bunch of these poison or magic flowers. No, poison flowers this time. You can kind of just squeeze right past them. You don't have to worry about fighting them. I mean, you can if you want. But they're not really going to stop you. So we're only missing 2 3s at this point. Yeah. We already have 17 2s because the ones we bought. We're going. Oh, it's over this way. And that's kind of why I told you guys to get them. It's going to make things much easier on us. Alright, so this transport is going to take us to the very tippity top of Miarnia. It pretty much shoots you out right in front of your last map fragments. It's nice, you know. There you go. If you turn around and go to your left, there'll be a side of Grace. So we already picked up 1 fire ash of war. And we're going to cover this stuff and weapon affinities and how to actually apply frostbite or fire to your weapon. But pretty much at the start, yes, we got weapons for every class, we got upgrades, we got all these heal items and stuff, but I went out of the way to make sure we got one flame art Astropore and one frostbite Astropore. Because frostbite will scale with strength and intelligence, or I mean, you know, dex too, and then you got the fire, which will get some faith scaling or strength scaling. But regardless, I don't think it gets faith scaling until you get the flame art. But still, you got one fire for faith builds and one ice for mage builds. That's how I looked at it. Plus, they both go good with strength. So this is EG. The live told us about EG. This is him. You get a purchase. Go to please take care.
If you come to I am
Talk.
After
He's just giving you lore on the area. It's pretty much two families going at it. Live sent me.
Quite a rare occurrence. Perhaps he sensed something unusual. At any rate, I've something.
So if you get a purchase now, there you go. Carrion Filigree Crest. So it lowers FP consumed by skills, and now you have that. So he does have unlimited 1 and 2 Somber Stones and 3 3s, 3 4s. Now they're pretty expensive, but I could spend 4,000 right now and get my weapon up to +5 because I'm only missing a 3. But we're about to go grab one, so you know, no need. So a little bit of patience. Now if you want a bunch of Somber 2s, there's the Carrion Manor up here. With these enemies, are these huge hands. They're completely disgusting, and they can be pain in the ass enemies. But if you go in here using fire, it makes life much easier as it makes them kind of roll around. But the reason I'm bringing this up is there's a very high chance for them to drop Somber 2s. I'm pretty sure the big ones drop Somber 2s every single time, pretty much guaranteed, and then the little ones have a smaller chance. But yeah, if you want to come here, just to show this off really quick, buff up the blood flame, make life a little bit easier on you. But we're not ready for this area. I think I'm just good enough to, you know, deal with it. So you're gonna see that hand stick out of the ground. You hit him with the fire. It didn't look too hard, trust me, it's a pain in the ass. So he should drop the Somber 2. And there you go. So you can go through this area and farm those guys and get a shit ton of them. I just felt like that may be a good thing to talk about. So from here, we already got past Arrow Lady. I forgot to mention, but obviously she's firing all those arrows at you guys. Just swerve, you know. I mean, it's simple enough. But I still probably should have mentioned it, I guess. And now we're going east and working our way on down. So we're going to get into a lake over here. Yeah, this buff's completely badass. So when you get down to this lake, what you're looking for is right here. So there's going to be a visible scarab. Now this one's big, meaning it'll be easier to hit. But if you get right here, in between this rock and the edge, and you just wait for him to come around, it makes it easier to get him, because he's kind of nowhere else for him to go. He's coming straight at you. He does take his time, but he'll work his way around. There you go. And there you go, Hoarfrost Stomps. So that stomps to the ground, bringing up a bunch of icicles. More importantly, it allows you to change your affinity to frostbite, or to cold. The cold affinity, your weapon's going to get physical damage, it's going to get magic damage, and it's going to get frostbite build up with every swing of your sword. You cannot beat it. So then take that little collapsed structure down, go to the right. This is going to bring us up to a church. Right here, grab the Side of Grace. If you're doing Dex Faith, and you can get up to 20/20 pretty quick on Dex and Faith, there is a fire spear. If you just take this road up, just follow this road up, and you get right in front of the Dex's lift. If you go right, you can follow it uphill, and there's a madness tower. It's going to inflict madness on you over and over. It's annoying to do it, but if you can take that out, then follow it all the way uphill to this church over here. That church, there's an NPC. If you kill that guy, it's Bike. You get Bike's War Spear. It does fire damage, madness build up, which only works in PvP, but still, it's a really, really fine choice. Even at endgame, you might get the weapon early on in the game, but even at endgame, it's doing over 800 AR. Pretty good weapon. Really good. It's a spear, which I'm not really big into thrust attacks, but the R2 does a heavy swipe, and it's really, really nice weapon. Really nice weapon. I could put on a talisman and we could use it temporarily. But we'll see, we'll see. I always use it on my faith build, so I'm probably not going to use it this time. But anyways, from there we're going to get on Bellum Highway and go all the way to the end here and get another side of grace for later. We do want to keep it daytime as there's a nighttime boss. He does drop a really nice weapon, but I just don't think we're ready for him. Alrighty. So from there, that's the side of grace we just got. We're kind of just going here off this cliff, and we're going to jump down with a spirit spring, and we're going to this tunnel. These are only 3 short, but if we go in this tunnel, we can get the somber 3 we're missing, and then the regular 3s we're missing, have everything we need to upgrade our weapons. So, I know where it's at, so I ain't worried about it. We're just going to jump off the edge here, ride this on down. Now this tunnel is kind of hidden away. I mean, even though it's on the map, it's kind of really pushed back in this side over here. So just pull it up. You know, if you feel like you passed it or whatnot, just make sure, you know, you're looking around for it. That's all. There it is. So as far as tunnels go, guys, the only way out of here, you cannot fast travel until the boss is dead. So, and I should have mentioned too, when you come down tunnels and catacombs that have elevators, you want to try to roll off on those ledges, but we weren't actually doing it yet, so I didn't really think about it. But yeah, you want to try to roll off on those spots. As there is, there's like runes and smithing stones a lot of the time. Let's go and try out our new buff. Yeah, these guys are really weak to blunt damage, but you know, they're kind of weak to blood loss too. See, I'm not doing much damage, but if I were to switch over to like the Morning Star, watch the difference. Just because of the weapon type. Boop. Makes it much easier to deal with them. So right in here, that's going to get you your somber smithing 2, but more importantly, you want to go behind the altar to get your 3. So now we have somber stones 1 through 5. I don't know what other weapon I'm going to go for yet, but I like to have, and I suggest everybody have a somber weapon you like for sure. You know, like that's your main thing. But then it's good to have a basic weapon upgraded because there's certain enemies that are weak to certain things, and then you could, you know, apply different affinities to your weapons. With Ashes of War, Ashes of War do not work on somber weapons, only regular weapons. So for that reason, you know, it's good to have, you know, a basic weapon upgrade as well. Take them out. This part is a little tricky. There's going to be some trick jumps you got to do. Jump, be careful, jump, be careful, jump, stop. There's 2 ways to do this. You can try to walk off this little beam sticking out and get on over there, or the only other way to make this is to jump, hit run, land. Now you're holding run right now as you land. So you jump, hit run, land. So now I'm holding down circle. Now I go forward, I'm already in a run stance. So that's the only other way I know, other than to ride that beam on down. It's pretty hard to do. So there's one of our smithing 3s and another somber smithing 3. So now when I'm looking, I'm missing 1. You've got to have 12 of each stone. Now right down in the next little area, this damage ain't that much better to, you know, worry about it that much. But there's another little area going straight down over here. Deal with this and when we go straight back, there's a lot of enemies, a bit of a suicide run. However, there's a little dead-end cave at the very bottom of this place, very back, and it has 2 smithing 3s. So that's all we got to do. And then we're pretty much done in the area. Anything else we do now is just extra. That's all I had notes on. That's all I had planned. So just gonna run straight back. Grab your smithing 3. Grab your smithing 3. So that's everything we wanted. And this is why it's a suicide run. Fuck it, let him kill us. Probably save me some time. Like I said, we cannot fast travel out of this place, so what we're going to do is just have to take the elevator back up. You know, there's no other choice. Alrighty. So from here, we are done in the area. We have everything we need for upgrades. Let's go ahead and jump over to Gatetown Bridge. So as I mentioned, anything else we do is extra, but if we have the time, I want to go get you a certain NPC and a certain incantation, both of which are going to be helpful. As I told you, if you turn in prayer books or, your spell books to NPCs, most of them are going to leave. Like you're going to meet Selin next episode, or the one after, and she ends up leaving. Or you meet Corin. You can turn those books into them, but they're going to leave. So if you don't buy whatever spells you don't buy up from them, you lose, right? So I'm going to take you to an NPC that never leaves. So this is the only person you should turn scrolls or prayer books into. Speaking of prayer books, we might die, so if you're worried about it, finish going straight up that hill and get the side of grace. But this guy gets you a prayer book. Won't be for our build, but this will be to help faith guys out. This guy is like a mid-game enemy. Because of that, he's got a lot of health. So if you just get guard counters off. Ooh, broke our guard out of stamina. Try to get some guard counters, try to get some backstabs, whatever you gotta do. There you go, and this thing's over. But yeah, in general, he's really hard enemy to beat. But he does drop a prayer book. So this is for faith builds, strength faith or dex faith. He's going to give you incantations with that, which is going to let you get lightning bolt, which is a lightning spear. So you can throw lightning bolts at people. You could also imbue your weapon with lightning with another incantation, and then he has home bolt, which just sends a lightning bolt from the sky to strike people. So, all good stuff. So we're not grabbing anything here because we're not doing this content for quite a while. We have a lot to do in Limgrave and Weeping Peninsula before we get here. However, we're going to grab some stuff that's just going to help people at the beginning. And since this is something we could easily miss later, this little lady right here, go up and smack her. She drops a pretty rude spell. Only way to get it is to kill that one in particular person. That's it. Now, as we go up to the right, we can go in this camp. We're not worried about fighting anybody. Go and grab your gesture right here. And there's your spell right there. That's going to be Flame Cleanse Me. Now from here, let's kind of wrap it around to the left. And we're going to be going up onto that little hill over there. Don't worry about these guys. I'll show you how to take all this stuff down later. We're just going to follow this around to the left, and we're going to go meet Turtle Pope, or Dog, or whatever people are calling him these days. So this guy is the only NPC you should turn any prayer books or scrolls into. Once again, if you're a mage, he actually has a really good start spell. I think you need 24 intelligence, but it summons up this huge greatsword. There's a really big swipe, really wide sweep, and it's just devastating. It's really cool. Spell sword. This Muriel. Let's go through all of his dialogue options, obviously.
Oh, was that you are free to share? I would, sir, if you find him, unless, in which case I will share.
So, go ahead and study sorcery. You can see what he has right here. If I'm a mage, I'm getting this. Carrying greatsword, 24 intelligence. Perform sweeping slash using magical greatsword. This comes out of your wand. Really badass. Then he also has magic glint blade. So, that's the good one. Get it if you want to collect all spells type thing. Studying incantations, all he's going to have is a buff here. Grants blessings to self and nearby allies. So, gradually restoring HP. Hold to continue praying and delay activation. Now, after that, we can go ahead and give him our first scroll, which is the Academy Scroll. And now, once you turn in these scrolls, you're going to see how they work. So now if I go to Sorcery, you notice he has 2 more spells here. Swift Glintstone Shard, Great Glintstone Shard. So this is going to be a faster option. This is going to be a harder hitting option. Both are better. Think of these as your Glintstone Pebble, but just way better. They're shards now, they're not pebbles, right? So this is faster, much better than Glintstone Pebble. Then this is a Great Glintstone Shard. So, bigger damage. So think of it that way. We could also give
Oh,
them
why,
Dragon
well,
Cold
you
Prayer
see
Book.
all things.
So now when you go to your incantations, if you remember, there's only one buff. Now look at this. You have 3 new items. Lightning Spear hurls lightning spear before caster. So you're just hurling out a bolt of lightning at people. Bolt, you make a single lightning bolt strike from above, and you could actually kind of spam that, bow, 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 like back to back, pretty cool. And then Electrify Ornament, enchants right hand ornament with lightning damage. So I wanted to get this for faith builds, as this is really badass. If you want to do a paladin build using electric, type stuff, it can be pretty badass. So we got you that. We got you the incantation. There's nothing else I want to do here, because at this point it would just be overkill, right? So what we're actually going to do is jump on over to a guild Lake North. Oh wait, no, I forgot one thing. We gotta get earlier golden seed. I promised you guys 7 flasks at the beginning, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I said 7 flasks right at the start of the game. So jump over to Stormhouse Shack real quick. These little cutscene photos you guys are seeing are actually from the DLC. Be fun to get there. It's a long time away, but it's gonna be fun when we do. So go and get your gold seed. He said Roderica leaves that behind. Roderica, however you say her name. So now, I think we're up at the point where it takes like 2 golden seeds. So use 2 golden seeds to increase your number of flask pieces. So now we are up to 7 as promised, adding in our last sacred tier. So before we close on out, just to talk about this. So every single class has options. So let's start, and we're looking at quality, 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 or strength, or dex. It doesn't matter because you can change affinities, and DD, DD, DC. So better for dex. These are better for strength. So you got great sword for dex, 2 great swords for strength. Colossal great sword. Obviously, strength builds. Now you need 30 strength, but if you can at least get up to 20, you can two-hand it. This ain't something you're one-handing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep that in mind. But also great sword, so that's for you guys. Put mine back on. We also picked up Morning Star. Now these are, better weapons than what you started with. These aren't weapons we're taking to the end of the game here, guys. Just better options than what you started with. So don't expect too much, but there's still some really solid options. Morning Star. Causes blood loss at 50. Strength, dex. So it can be strength, it can be dex, or it can be quality. Same thing here. Strength, dex, or quality. Blood loss at 50. Faith. You're going to have to get your faith to 24 to use that, but there's an option. Quality builds, dex builds. There's a little ranged option for you. Then we also have a wand for our mages out there. We already had a seal for us, then we just picked up shield. So starting weapons for every class besides our class, because of the fact that there's just no arcane weapons for quite a while. So, like I said, instead we're gonna, buff their own blood loss and just use Bloodhound's Fang because it still meets, the dex part of our build, and the blood loss would meet the arcane part. Now, since we're able to go up to Altus Plateau for other people doing arcane builds and might want other options, we'll go grab you guys some weapons, but it's gonna be a bit because we don't want to trigger big events, right? So do keep that in mind. Now, we're going to jump on over to Aguil Lake North. So we are going to wrap on up. This has concluded our early runaround. We're looking at 7 flasks. Just, you guys already seen the weapons. So everybody's taking care of on weapons and shields, right? Armor sets, we're dependent on drops for now. But you go here, we go down to our items. We already gotten us, 3 silver pickle foul foot, 1 gold pickle foul foot. This is consumable. We're talking about early start, everything we have access to, right? We got us a lantern, which is easy to put on. Look at all these runes we already got access to, so we'll be able to buy, pay for upgrades and buy stuff from merchants. We have our multiplayer items. We already have 3 summons we could use as well, right? Now, let's go put on our lantern. To do that, we're going to go over to this page. I like to put on the down button, so I go over here, hit triangle, put that there. So anytime I want to use this, I just, wrong button. So I hit triangle down, boop, lantern's on. Triangle down, oop, lantern's off. So it's an awesome buy because you just kind of wear it, you know what I mean? It stays out of your way, not too hard to get to. Also, besides that, we have picked up a lot of crafting stuff. Most importantly, 8 smithing 1s, 18 smithing 2s, 13 smithing 3s, and 3 smithing 4s. We already got some 5s, some 6s, some 7s, and 8s. We actually have 1 of every stone. We just don't have enough of every stone, unfortunately. Summer stones, we're missing a 1. Oh yeah, because we used it. So summer 1 we've already used, but still, that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So everything we need to get a somber weapon up to +5 and a basic weapon to +10. As long as we go find 4 more ones, which we're going to do in the first tunnel. That's why we're starting here. That's what brings me to this. So first episode of actual doing content, we're going to hit this cave, this tunnel. We're going to get the rest of the smithing ones we need. Then we're all jumping over to the round table hold, and we're going to go upgrade all of our weapons. If you are using a somber weapon, there's nothing stopping you from bringing your weapon up to +5 right now. But, just let everyone know what's going on. But yeah, I don't think there's really anything else to touch on. I mean, next episode we're actually going to get started on content, and now we're going to play it like a linear game because we can. We got set up for it. So we're going to go through all of Limgrave besides, Stormville Castle. We're going to do everything else. Then we're going to do all the Weeping Peninsula. Then we're going to go back up and do Stormville and then head off. So that's where we are the next about 5 episodes, guys. So, just, keep you posted. But yeah, we're doing phenomenal. Next episode we're gonna get our upgrades, and we're ready to rock and roll and keep it moving after that. So you guys stay tuned, and we'll be back here shortly to finally start doing content and work on Limgrave.